This is the Sony WH-1000XM3, and these are the Jabra Elite 75Ts. Today we're going to compare them to each other. You might think it's outrageous to do this, or just downright unfair, but then you'd be underestimating the 75Ts, and you'd be surprised on how good they actually are. The question is, can they compete with the Sonys? And I mean when it comes to everything and anything that has to do with our sound and music listening experience, from transparency, to noise canceling, to comfort, fit, and seamlessness, to battery life, to sound quality, and to just everything involved. You ready? Well, let's start with sound quality. Actually, let's get sound quality out of the way, because when you play music on the Jabras, it'll sound nice and not bad at all, but you switch to the Sonys and yeah, you're never gonna want to switch back again. The sound is just fuller, thicker, has more resonance, more bass, more everything really, and it just sounds more expensive, like a good amount more expensive. Scratch that, a great amount more expensive. Compared to the Sonys, the Jabras sound kinda cheap by comparison. They're just not as good when it comes to sound quality. I'm sure you're not surprised to hear this though, and just so you know, it's also not a software thing. The Jabras are just not capable of producing the kind of sound the Sonys do out of the box. I went to the settings of the Jabra app just to see if I could make things sound nicer and have it compete with the Sonys, but nope, there's nothing I could do to make a difference. And even if there was, I could always go into the Sony app and make the Sony sound better too. Long story short, the Sonys are much better when it comes to sound quality. And if that's all I was going to compare in this video, you'd probably guess that I just hate the Jabras and just came here to embarrass them. But that's not all we're comparing in this video. So let's pause the music and talk about noise canceling. Which is better when it comes to noise canceling? Well, if I had to bet, I'll put my money on the Sonys because first, I'm not stupid. And second, I know the Sonys are top notch when it comes to noise canceling. Like even flagship headphones can't beat them. So of course earbuds won't be able to either. Especially earbuds with just passive noise canceling like the Jabras, right? They don't even have real active noise canceling like the AirPod Pros. Now that's true, the Jabras don't have active noise cancelling. They only have passive noise cancelling, yes, but see, I used them myself, I really didn't expect much, but after I used them for a while, then switched back to the AirPod Pros, I could tell that the AirPod Pros were worse than the Jabras when it comes to noise cancelling. When I then switched to the Sonys, I could tell that the difference between the AirPods and the Sonys was pretty similar to the difference between the AirPods and the 75Ts. This means the Sonys and the 75Ts have to be close when it comes to noise cancelling, and that means the Jabras might actually be better than the Sonys when it comes to noise cancelling. So I had to check, of course, and I tried them back and forth. And I was right, they are close, but the Sonys are still slightly better. It's better by an uncomfortable amount though, cause it's a pretty small amount of noise difference between these small Jabra earbuds compared to flagship Sony over-ear headphones. So I'm very impressed with the Jabras, but they do perform slightly worse. They don't just cancel a bit less noise, but I also had a problem with the quiet but annoying static sound coming from the Jabras when I won't be listening to anything. I've used the Sonys for almost 2 years and I haven't experienced any problems like that. I've experienced a lot of phone calls though, and if you're to make phone calls on the Sonys, this is how they'll sound. I'm recording this on the microphones on the Sonys and the microphones on the 75Ts. This is how they'll sound on like phone calls, video calls, voice recordings, etc. You know? But how do they sound to you? Do you prefer one of them? Can you manage either of them? Is one definitely worse? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, when it comes to transparency, the difference between them is way more clear. This is how your surroundings sound with the transparency mode on the Sonys.
Anything that he can get hold of, he does in this situation.
And this is how they sound on the Jabras. Night and day difference. The Jabras are easily better when it comes to transparency. But it has some problems here again, because as you're using them, they'll just cut out the audio every now and then recover right after. And they do a bunch of these glitchy 1 or 2 second thingies that just make them not feel seamless. You know, seamlessness has to do with comfort, fit, feel, and the actual convenience of using the device, so it's a very important category. The Sonys are just about as seamless as they look. They're just like you'd expect flagship over-ear headphones to be. They're premium feeling, and the padding feels real nice and comfortable. Not so comfortable while laying down on the bed on your side though, but they're pretty comfortable in general. Only as comfortable and seamless as over-ear headphones can be though, because there's certain places where they can't compare to earbuds like the Jabras. For example, the Jabras feel pretty comfortable on the bed. I have no problems laying down with them, and I have no problem using them in general. I'd rather not use them for too long though, because they fit kinda tight and can get a bit uncomfortable after a while. This happens with the Sonys too after a long while, like hours, but it doesn't get near as bad as the Jabras after a while, you know? And actually, the Jabras don't even get so bad too, so discomfort isn't much of a problem with both of them. Fit isn't a problem with the 75Ts either. They always feel secure in my ears and never like they're gonna fall out, even with major movements. The way they're built and shaped just makes them really ergonomic and stay really locked in. And because of how they're built and how small they are, even with the case, you can wear them with anything and take them basically anywhere you want. You can't do the same with the Sonys, you know? they won't really fit in your pockets. Well, they don't fit in mine at least. Overall, the Sonys just can't compare with the Jabras when it comes to seamlessness. Earbuds will just almost always win in this category. The Sonys let you control a bunch of stuff like playing and pausing music, increasing and reducing the volume and stuff, and that's pretty seamless, but you can do all those same things with the Jabras as well. You actually can't say that about a lot of earbuds. How long would a battery last for you to do these things though? Well, the Jabras last about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours with non-stop use, and they charge back pretty fast as well. Both the earbuds and the case with USB-C. You charge it for a short time and you get a long time of use. That's pretty good. Now the Sonys on the other hand have been said to last 15 hours of non-stop use, but in my experience, the battery of the Sonys have reached a level to me where I don't have to keep track of it anymore. I just use it and use it and use it, and when I get a low battery warning, I just plug it in for some minutes and then unplug it, and then I use it and use it and use it again for like hours and hours, maybe even days. And then I'll charge it every now and again, and then I'll get the low battery warning like a month later or so, you know? I've used the Sonys for almost 2 years and I barely hear the low battery warning. In the real world though, you're gonna have good battery performance from both the Sonys and the Jabras, and the battery of the Jabras can last a very long time too, depending on how much you put it back in the case, which you'll probably be doing naturally anyways. Anyways, they both also have some extra features we should talk about. If you go to the Sony app, you see that the Sonys have a feature called 360 reality audio, which should be like 3D but with your ears and with music. And it does work, but the technology isn't completely there yet, and not a lot of songs are available that support it. There are also some other lesser cool features in the app for you to play with too as well. Now Jabra has its own app too, and they give you a lot of settings to customize the 75Ts, all the way to the functions of the buttons of each earbud themselves, but I wouldn't really say those are proper extra features though. But the 75Ts are one of the few earbuds and headphones in general with a special feature. They're water resistant. The rating's IP55 or IP57, I saw different things online, but either way, that's a pretty high water resistance rating in general. Even the AirPods aren't rated that high, and I've dropped them in water a lot. Jabra is also so confident in the water resistance of the 75Ts that they even give a 2-year warranty against dust and sweat. That's pretty cool. What's also pretty cool and what I love about the 75Ts is that you can connect to multiple devices at once. With the Sonys, you'd be watching something on your iPad, like this interesting channel I found right here, and you want to subscribe, of course, right? And turn on all notifications as well, right? But then your phone would just start ringing. And you go to pick it up, but wait, you want to use the Sonys to talk on the call, but they're connected to the iPad, remember? So we gotta go to settings, Bluetooth, and then connect to the... Oh wait, it won't work. The Sonys only connect to one device at a time. So if you don't want to turn them all the way off and then all the way on again and then put them in pairing mode and then connect, you're gonna have to go back to the iPad, disconnect from Bluetooth, or just turn it off because that's faster. And we gotta hurry because we gotta pick up the call before it's too late. But wait, we can't pick up the call just yet because now we have to go to settings to connect. Yeah, the Sony WH, yep, there it is, and now we can pick up the call. Now, if we rewind though, all the way back to before the phone call, and we're using the Jabras instead to watch stuff on that cool channel I was telling you about that you should subscribe to, when the phone call comes in and we want to keep using the Jabras to talk on the phone, all we have to do is pick up. And you'll be using the 75Ts to make your call. They can connect to multiple devices at a time, and they're actually smart about switching too. So if you're doing your phone call and you want to go continue watching stuff on your iPad, you don't have to do anything or press any button. You just press play and continue watching what you're watching. Being able to connect to multiple devices is a great feature. I actually think the worst thing about the Sony XM3s is that it doesn't let you do that. There are some not so great things about the 75Ts though. I've had a bunch of connection issues with them. Like sometimes they'll say they're connected, but then they're just not connected because I'll press play and my music will just not play. Sometimes I'll be trying to connect to them and they just won't let me connect for whatever reason. I have to put them back in their case and then bring them back out. And they also have poor range as well. Like in my same apartment, I'll just walk across a wall or two, go to the bathroom, and then my music would just start cutting and stuttering. And this doesn't happen with any other earbuds or headphones. Like you don't have to go far at all. It's just bad. Now I think this stuff is happening. My guess is this stuff is happening because of the right earbuds. Because if you take out the right earbuds, everything will just go off. The left earbud will go off. Like even if you have transparency on, the left earbud will just go off because it's reliant on the right earbud. If you put it back on, then everything comes back again. So the left earbud has to connect to the right earbud, which has to connect with your phone and the left earbud as well. And I think like that's causing something. I don't really know though, to be honest. All I know is it's not a nice experience. Okay, now we've talked about just about everything. So the question is, which is actually better? Well, this one's not so hard to decide in my opinion, because we're asking which is better for our entire audio listening experience and which provides the better experience overall. And although the Jabras do a good job, even a great job in places you wouldn't expect like noise cancelling, and although they even got a few victories here today, the Sonys just provide the better sound experience. When you're actually comparing listening to music or anything else for that matter, the difference between the Sonys and the Jabras is night and day. I mean like 12 p.m. on a bright sunny day and pitch black midnight. And the thing is, I didn't even dive too deep into how you can actually customize the sound and make it better for you on the Sonys. Now that plus all the little hassles and the problems the Jabras have that mess with the sound experience is the reason why the Sonys are the winner today. Yeah, this one isn't so outrageous. Not at all. Kind of predictable. Scaredy cats.